Leo, Bo, Bio, Bonana, Fanafo, Fio. Welcome, my Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon next in October 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, Leo Rising, if you can't tell, and very, very honored to work for you, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. All my Leo friends do. Meow. Hi. Oh, hi. It's time again, isn't it? It's time to figure out what it is that we need, us Leo planeted people, for this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. My subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping me get to where I am in my YouTube journey right now. Getting closer and closer to 2,000 subscribers, but my new goal, because, you know, dream big, shoot for the moon, or the sun in this case with Leos, shooting for 30 grand so that I can do my extended readings here instead of on Vimeo. It can all be in one place. What that means is that I would have membership. You would be able to, I don't know, pay something per month, automatic subscription fee, whatever, and you would have access to all of the extended readings for all of the different signs. So that's the new goal. I know maybe I should have shot for 5,000 as my new goal, but dream big or go home, right? So that's where I am, and I thank you so much for it. And if you're new to my channel, please do consider doing so. I'm good at what I do. I'm 52 years old. I started studying and reading tarot when I was 12. That'll be 40 years next year, because it was actually in the spring or summer. You hear what I have to deal with? Just sitting right there meowing for no reason whatsoever in the stairwell so that it echoes, right? Cats, come on, buddy. Belzy, come sit with me. Oh, he is the attention whore, but I swear he's half pillow. Like, he's half feline DNA. The rest of it is, he's a pillow. He's the sweetest kitty ever. Anyway, let's get down to work. This is a simple 7-card draw. 7 different decks, 1 card each to get you what you need from this full moon in Aries, which for me, doing this is tomorrow. I'm doing this the Wednesday of the 30th. The full moon is officially at the 1st of October 2020 at 5:05 p.m. Then the waning moon period to the new moon in Libra, Friday the 16th, 2020 at 3:31 p.m. So we're really looking at, from the different pantheons, what it is that you need to know about, be aware of, heal, and all of that. We're using 3 healing systems, 2 oracles, and 2 tarot decks. So at the end of that, I'll pop up the picture, and we'll see what has hit the table and what the guides want to say about all this. Shall we? Remember, this is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The best way to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, is to be in the present moment. Notice what your body is reacting or responding to. And the best way to do that is to focus on your breath. Just saying. And I will do the same on my end to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I am trained and honed as a reader all this time to do. Let's. All the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom with some cool stuff on the way down there. Let's just breathe then. Let's do this. Oh, there they are. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, possibly my own, Leo Rising that I am, please. We need 1 card in clarity. What is the Caroline Mace archetype card, the first of our 3 healing systems? What is the dominant archetype that the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign needs to alchemize, to heal from lead to gold, from shadow to light, from toxic to healthy within themselves, deal with it within another person, deal with it within a situation? Just the dominant archetype for this waning moon, the full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020. And we've got the shapeshifter. Sam Merlot, white courtesy telephone. Everybody was like, Team Eric, Team Bill. I'm like, Team Sam. He was yummy. Shapeshifters. Now, this is, I'm pretty sure, one of the wild card family archetypes. It could be creative as well, I'm hearing, but, you know, trying to keep these things classified, considering they exist in the collective unconscious, is tricky stuff. Now, this is supposed to be triggery. You've got the shadow and the light. I'm familiar with this archetype, particularly when you deal with politicians, particularly in the shadow attribute, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Sort of like camouflage. But the thing is you don't want anybody to know you're doing it if it's in the shadow, right? It's something that you want to keep back there, right? Like in one room you're a Democrat, and the next you're a Republican, and the next you're a liberal, and the next you're a conservative, right? Just kind of going along, getting over, right? Pretending, essentially deception. But the light attribute is fascinating. Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness. That's a big deal, actually. Ability to see the potential in everything. So what does it mean to navigate through different levels of consciousness? Well, there is the consciousness of the illusion of separation, right? We all appear separate, but we're really not. What does that bring you into? Unity consciousness, right? Emotional consciousness, mental, spiritual consciousness. To be able to navigate through that in one day. And for myself as a teacher, I think it's necessary for me, because I'm a spiritual teacher, to be able to meet people where they're at, to be able to see the potential no matter where anybody is in their journey, right? Fascinating archetype. I mean, all of them are. You know, there's not the boring as hell archetype, right? But I guess any archetype can be boring depending on who's wearing it, so to speak. We are off to an interesting start. So we're going to use our second healing system here, the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn, to get you what is the healing mantra you need. So if the shapeshifter is the archetype you need to alchemize, again, within yourself, within another person, within a situation. Maybe things are shifting shape around you, so to speak, due to shifts in levels of consciousness. So let's see, what is the healing mantra that you need, essentially, to work with to help heal that. Nice deep breath, please. Hello, my ascended masters. Yes, I'm well aware. Well aware. Look, if you grew up gay in the 80s, you learned how to shapeshift, right? Depending on who you're with, because your life was at risk, right? I didn't do that over much, but I know that feeling. If you're walking into a bar, gay walks into a bar and feels scared to death for his life. You know what I'm saying? So it's that ability to kind of morph as needed as a survival skill. So I can feel that. What is the healing mantra then? My ascended masters, please. One card in clarity. What is the healing mantra that this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign needs to heal this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October, right from the center, 2020. Deconstructing doubt. Only my beliefs are in my way. Only my beliefs are in my way, and I will read it from the book in a minute, definitely is talking about navigating different levels of consciousness, because what bars our levels of consciousness? All right, people can be like, yeah, all that spirit guide stuff is bullshit, until they see one. Right? It's just like, right? Only my beliefs are in my way. So understand that beliefs are things, because thoughts are things. I mean, I kind of like Abraham Hicks' take on it a little bit, that a belief is just the thought you keep thinking. But then there's like the biochemical and the neurological part of that, where think of the brain. They're showing me the brain patterning here, that the more you think a thought, the more the certain neural passageways strengthen, because the more they fire, the more they wire, right? So this might be an issue of belief management for us Leos to look at while we negotiate. I love that it's the word negotiate. Skill at negotiating through different levels of consciousness. What does it mean to negotiate, right? Through different levels of consciousness, because different levels of consciousness, things change. Like, there's a level of consciousness where thoughts create things. It just doesn't work the way people expect them to, right? And then there is a level where you are affected by astrological influences, but in higher dimensions, that's not true. There are certain levels of consciousness where you have past lives and others where you don't, because you're one with everything, right? So they're not past lives, they're just lives. So something here about our beliefs being in our way. Now, I am hearing that there is an earthly part of this as well, and we'll see that, in the next 2 cards. That totally makes sense, because what's going on inside that you need to be aware of, I'll say, we're going to use the Daughters of the Moon to get 1 card, and for the outside, what we need to be aware of here, in terms of something in shape-shifting. Take a nice deep breath, we'll ask the goddesses. 1 more. It's so much better through the nose. Oh, my goddesses of fire, please. For this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, what do they need to be aware of inside of themselves, right? Different levels of consciousness, only their beliefs getting in their way. The beliefs are an internal experience. I would put that in the realm of yin. Though it is mental and considered masculine energy, the belief system can be stored within the emotional reaction to cellular chemistry as a result of those thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. So please, what is it they most need to be aware of this full moon to new moon next October 2020? Interesting. Not what I would think a shape-shifting card, but one definitely of Earth. 9 of Pentacles, Malama, interior abundance, interior stability. I love the 9 of Pentacles. I want to call this the Virgo card because it's God bless the child that has their own. That has their own, right? His, hers. In this case, obviously, it's female. We're used to seeing in the 9 of Pentacles the woman with the hooded falcon, the lady of the manor, I call her, has all her own stuff, right? Whole and complete, but not the 10, right? Not that sharing, not that intimacy with another in terms of even intimate family, right? So that 9 of Pentacles, an internal fertility. Now, since that obviously is not going to play itself out as money on the inside unless you're eating it, which is not the proper use of currency, we are looking really here about an internal wealth, usually of wisdom, something that has come from experience. So in terms of your belief system, it might very well be that you are managing it, that you have wisdom and wealth. This doesn't feel negative. This doesn't feel like, oh, you're just shitstormed with negativity and false beliefs. It feels like, no, there's fertile ground in there. You've grown a lot. There's a lot of wisdom. Remember, element of Earth is also wisdom, because wisdom comes from tactile experience. It's just not about book learning. Like, everybody, knows what to do about kids until they have one, right? It's like, oh, that's why I will never, ever teach about parenting. I ain't got kids. And that's just annoying. That's like somebody trying to teach you how to drive who doesn't have a license, right? Like, no. No. Teach me once you've had it, right? So let's look at the outside. Breathe. My gods of fire. Apollo in particular, who sits solo in the throne of Leo for me. Please, beloved one. 1 card in clarity for this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. What do they need in the outer? What do they need to be aware of? What do they need to deal with, heal? Considering we have the shapeshifter, deconstructing doubt. Oh, I forgot to read from the thing. I will do that. I will do that before I pop the picture up. It was probably a good idea anyway to lay out all the cards and then read that, but whatever. The 9 of Pentacles on the inner. I see that stability, that wisdom, that fertility, though not shared with others, right? Very singular within the self. So what is it they need to be aware of? This full moon to new moon next October 2020. Temperance. Temperance, a card of discipline, a card of timing, a card of pressure, a card of alchemy, a card of heat, pressure, and time is what makes alchemy happen, right? What brings all of that into form, tempering eggs, tempering steel, a process of making something stronger over time. You know, and I've been using this as an example. I've been watching these YouTube videos about restoring metal things, like Awesome Restoration, I think, is one of them. There's so many of them. You know, you watch one and then there are 10 million of them on your homepage. But how they take these rusted things and like boil them in acid with electricity and, you know, and then torch it and put it in a furnace and then dip it in oil, like I guess motor oil, I don't know, whatever, to temper the blade and they hammer it and really, they restore it, right? It takes time. It certainly takes time. But it would say then, you put these two together, what you need to be aware of on the inside is that you have everything that you need to do to get through. Right? You have everything you need personally here within yourself in terms of wisdom, self-esteem, self-foundational self-stuff, right? Inside, in order to wait out or to process or to temper yourself with the outside, right? There might be a slowdown, there might be a pause. So you're having to maybe shapeshift to deal to maybe hold something back to appear as something other than you are, right? Just be careful with that, right? Can you navigate through different levels of consciousness? In other words, feeling really safe within yourself while there is this perhaps rough, time-consuming, disciplined process going on outside of you, and to see the potential in it rather than projecting any image. No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Keep your eye on that for sure. Yeah, let's get the third healing system down. I will read that deconstructing doubt card before we're done. Only my beliefs are in the way. And that's the thing. You may know that within yourself on some level, but it's going to take time, some discipline, some patience while this plays itself out on the outside. And you need to be aware of that. We're going to ask the Ascended Masters who gave us this card of deconstructing doubt through the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, just the suit of the problem. The other three suits are back on the bookshelf back there. We want to see what the problem is here that maybe this temperance is connected to. Breathe. Yeah, my Ascended Masters, please, one card in clarity. What's the problem here for this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020. Again, we've got the Shapeshifter, we've got Deconstructing Doubt, we've got the Nine of Pentacles inside, which feels so lovely. But this card of Temperance, almost like I feel like this tenuous balance, right? Having to not necessarily walk on eggshells, but to really keep your balance every step of the way in something that is maybe shifting shape on the outside. Please, what is the problem they need to keep their eye on this full moon to new moon next? Never enough. Never enough. Just never enough. Never, never enough. Why is all that we have simply never enough? Olivia Newton-John, white courtesy telephone, 1970-something. Like, is this you grinding yourself? Is this you wearing yourself down, that it's just never enough? Yes, on the card, it's a man handing gifts of his own heart to a woman on the throne, and she's just got them littered around the place. It's just never, you can give me your heart, you can give me your soul, you can give me everything. It's just never going to be enough. I'm not getting that vibe on this. If that is going on in here, you would know that never enough. My feeling is this is more like, it doesn't matter what I do, it's never enough. It doesn't matter what I do, it's never enough. And I think that never enough is maybe not a question of I'm not good enough, self-worth stuff, but more like, it doesn't matter how many times I throw this against the wall, it doesn't stick. It's just never enough. It's never enough. No matter what I do, it's never enough. They want me to read this now? I will do that. Oh, and we almost turned right to the page. Deconstructing doubt. Only my beliefs are in my way. As you deconstruct doubt, you are no longer lost in the concerns and curiosities of what if, but are more rooted in the truth of what is, which does make sense with the Shapeshifter with Temperance on the outer, because you're having to kind of, something may be wanting to come into manifestation from the inner to the outer, but the process is in play. Like, you gotta let They give me this all the time. Do you want hot batter or do you want cake? Let it cook, right? That's the pressure, the heat, and the time, right, of alchemy here. When doubt is deconstructed, hardship is no longer a sign of misfortune. It is an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone and meet the higher aspects of soul that exist just beyond the boundaries of the self. So there is a growth. This is a you shape-shifting up to a higher level of consciousness, more the aspects of your soul than perhaps the impatience and the never enough of the personality and the ego. This mantra is ideal for aligning with truth, being more self-actualized, and transforming inferiority. Never enough. Even if that's not about, because I mean, look, everybody has issues of I'm not good enough. Louise Hay, I say this a lot, Louise Hay, and You Can Heal Your Life. Great book. First, I think the first chapter, she says, I'm not good enough is the foundational fear or the core fear of every person, that everybody is afraid they are not good enough in some way, shape, or form. So something to think about. And if that's not the case within you, because I kind of feel like you're good, right? Like that's why it doesn't feel that way for this. It feels like it just doesn't matter what I do in this situation, what I do with this person, no matter how many times I stand on my head in a different way. We know that feeling. But there is something transforming here, something healing here, but it do take time, right? And Leo's your fixed fire. If you keep your eye on the prize in this way, I think you'll be fine. But just there are some beliefs that are processing through you that are getting in the way. So deal with your doubts. Look at them. Allow yourself to doubt. Doubt is part of the process. Just because you doubt something, like even if you're doubting a universal truth, universal truth isn't just something that's true or not true depending on the day. Like today it is sunny outside. Well, technically it's always sunny because the clouds can't put the sun out, right? So right, that's truth. But then there's your own personal experience of it. So you can even doubt that stuff. The stuff that you know to be core truth within yourself and within spiritual whatever, whoever, but it's okay. You're allowed to doubt. It's part of the journey. Do you really want a hero's journey that doesn't have doubt in it? Otherwise, it's zealotry. We'll look up that word, zealotry. Zealot being the root of the word. Can you tell I was raised by a teacher? Go look it up. But she regrets that now. Okay, that's our third healing system. All three of them are on the table. Let us get down to then our two oracles. We are going to ask the Whispers of Love Oracle, actually the higher selves of all involved, perhaps my own included here. I could see where this could be me. I mean, being self-employed and a YouTuber at this stage of it does feel like it's never enough. It doesn't matter how many videos I put out. I mean, I can get that. Not really feeling that, but I like the shapeshifter part of it. We'll see. Let's see what the higher selves of all involved have to say. Breathe. Because it's such a penthouse view. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you. Give me Paka the new. The higher selves of all involved. You got a serious bunch up there. Please, one card in clarity for this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020 with the shapeshifter, deconstructing doubt, feeling the Nine of Pentacles, feeling their oats, their strength, their contained wisdom on the inside, and dealing with some sort of temperance, balance, disciplined thing, like tempered eggs. You don't want them to curdle. You gotta do it slowly and add the heat gradually. But there's something never enough about here, and I'm getting those are part of the beliefs, right? Only my beliefs are in my way. So I don't feel like that's connected to greed. I just don't. Not with the Nine of Pentacles in the goddess position there, in the yin position. So please, higher selves of all involved, perhaps my own included, what is your whisper of love, the piece of information, inspiration, or insight that you have for the Leo collective? The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem, literally the problem card, back to love. The only thing that's real is love. The only thing that's real is love. Now, I can feel some of you going, no, look at the love. I get it. I get it, particularly if you are struggling with some kind of impatient. Oh. Look, we've all been trying to get our stuff done. There are things that we want that are on hold. I get it. The whole world's going through that right now. Oh, please, I'm watching this on September 30th. Do the math nationally if you're an American, right? Of course, the empathic field right now is freaking on all sorts of different, right, levels of consciousness. So this is literally saying, no matter what energy you have put into your life, don't worry. The only thing that's real is love here. You have the opportunity to shift up to that level of consciousness, right? Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness. So if you get, is this, because really, it's so funny, to enter the heart, we actually have to choose to see things from the soul or spirit's point of view. It's just so funny how the upper chakras, oh, there's really should just be one fucking chakra, right? The chakra of the one, right? They're all one thing, right? Just like you can't separate one color out of the spectrum. Well, the illusion is that there are separate colors, right? It's all white light. So there's this thing of coming, seeing, experiencing the love here. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. And that's what you need from your higher selves. And, you know, that's every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer. My totem is the crow, the Sheryl Crow. Actually, that's not completely untrue, the crow part. The bird of law, but really, I'm a lion. You know. Last card down. And then I'll pop up the picture and we'll see what else connects. Because they show me stuff when I have all the cards on the table. And I'm looking for you guys from a higher, right, level of consciousness. Healing with the Angels Oracle. What is the angel that we need to call upon? Now, you got to kind of ask yourself, whatever this angel is, what would they do, right? It's not just some energy. They're the healing with the angels. What are these angels helping us heal? Breathe. That we need to call on and work with. Hello, my beloved angels and archangels. Hi. One card in clarity, please, for this Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, full moon in Aries to new moon in Libra, October 2020. What do we need? As a Leo rising myself, what is the angel we most need to call upon to deal with this alchemy from lead to gold, shadow to light with the shapeshifter, understanding on some level that only our beliefs are in the way, that we have everything we need inside of us, the wisdom, we may not know it, but it's in there, and there is a process of temperance here, a healing, a transformation, a strengthening, perhaps through hardship, right, as was mentioned in the deconstructing doubt part of this, right? And the problem is never enough, and the only thing we need to do there is shift our focus from that problem back to love. So what is the healing angel we need, my beloved? Oh yeah, well, Archangel Michael is just part of the angels of the south in the element of fire, so then we'll ask him too. My Michaelites, what do we need? Forgiveness. Fuck. Hey, I'm both a student and a teacher of A Course in Miracles. It's all about forgiveness, and still I'm like, oh, fuck. Gonna do that again? What would the angel of forgiveness do? I'll tell you what the angel of forgiveness has done for me. Has shown me how to forgive. Has shown me how to see things from a higher level of consciousness. Has allowed me to see beyond my beliefs when they are getting in the way. Oh my God. And that feeling of never enough comes from a sense of lack. And lack is canceled through forgiveness. Lack equals debt. And like, what do they owe you? What do you owe them? What do you owe? OWE, right? What is the lack that is never, ever, ever, ever enough? I'm going to pop up the picture on this one, but I'm going to say this to you. The ego cannot forgive. It can't. Because if it forgave, it would begin to dissolve. So what has to happen, unfortunately, this is how this shit works, only the soul can forgive, because from its higher perspective, right, its higher dimension of consciousness, it sees that this is all the soul's journey, and it's all to make us better, right? Whatever arises, love that. Everything is here to help you. The universe always has a plan. That's Matt Kahn's 3 books in order from first to latest. I won't say last. So what does forgiveness take? Well, I will tell you as a student of Course in Miracles, it takes a small willingness, but a small willingness consistently applied. I don't know what that noise was, but something just hissed out. Oh, it's a sprinkler. Great, we're getting auditory messages in the house. Oh, somebody's rinsing something. Got it. Okay. And of course, the only thing that's real is love. This is a very Course in Miracles thing. Now, look, if you're not familiar with the Course in Miracles, it's a book of spiritual self-psychotherapy, right? It's 365 lessons with a text and a teacher's manual and other pamphlets associated with it. I highly recommend it, but it's like reading stereo instructions. It's not the easiest read in the world, but that's why we have other teachers. Marianne Williamson has taught it extensively. Gary Renard. I mean, so many teachers have referenced, if not taught directly, the material in A Course in Miracles, because that's what it takes to make a miracle. A shift in consciousness from fear to love, to navigate from lower to higher levels of consciousness, if you want to go there as a shapeshifter, understanding that the only thing that is real is love, and that is the foundation of A Course in Miracles, interestingly enough. And that is a slow process. The alchemy of miracles, from fear to love, from pain to peace, from lead to gold, from shadow to light, is a process of forgiveness that is the fire, the heat aspect of alchemy. So let me pop up the picture and we'll see what else we get. If that wasn't it right there, we're about to find out. Magic clap. Again, shapeshifter, shadow attribute, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. And you know, that is very much a Leo, at least a Leo rising thing, right? Like if I'm at a law with my family and lawyers, right? If I'm in a bar association meeting, I'm going to behave myself and try and bland mark, try not to stand out like the sore thumb of the family that you are, the green thumb of the family that I am. The light attribute, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything, which is really lovely to make your way through a room, right? And just seeing the beauty and the potential in everything and everyone there, being able to communicate with people no matter what they are at. It's very much a diplomatic skill. But what's going to help you alchemize that is the mantra, only my beliefs are in the way, which means there's some introspection that needs to go on here. And with that card of the Nine of Pentacles, right? That malama, that fertility, that having everything that you need inside of yourself, you kind of have the wisdom probably of doing this before. You probably have your own sense of stability here, but this process of forgiveness indicated by the angel is going to take time and temperance. This is not a fast thing, but they're also showing me, Leo, fixed fire. You would rather take the fifth house creativity approach, right? Like you don't, how do you want to get a tan? Gradually over a few hours, or all at once with a flash burn and then slowly what, right? So this is a bit more slow and steady, wins the race, but you are a fixed fire sign. But then again, we have this never enough card in that problem place. Now I can kind of get so many different well, I guess you could say levels of consciousness of who's feeling what on that. There's one where really it doesn't matter how much I do. It's like shoveling shit against the tide, right? Or it doesn't matter how much love I throw at this. It doesn't matter how much healing I do on this. Something's not moving. But with that deconstructing doubt card, only your beliefs are in your way, there might be, the healing might have already taken place. It's just you don't believe it yet because it hasn't manifested into form. Hence that card of the Temperance, taking time. Like I feel like the work is near complete within yourself, but still with that angel of forgiveness. Really, the prayer for forgiveness is help me see this differently. Great, big, huge, particularly if you're trying to deconstruct doubt here. And I'm going to bring it down to this bottom card. The only thing that is real is love. That is sort of the lesson here. This is the lesson that you need to look at. It's not all about romantic love. This is about the love of the soul. The ego is raw. It regrets, it anticipates, and it worries, right? Oh no, it's at war. It worries, it anticipates, and it regrets. The soul is raw. It respects, it acknowledges, and it welcomes. So welcome that in. Take your time with that. The only thing that is real is love. It used to be a prayer I used to say that I learned from Marianne Williamson back in the 90s. Dear God, Goddess, well, I put the goddess in there. Dear God, Goddess, all that is, I surrender this day to you. May only the love remain, for that is all that was real, right? So on a spiritual level, to see see your life or whatever it is you're going through this full moon to new moon next from that higher level of consciousness, right? Being able to see that the only thing that needs to be forgiven here is already done, right? It's already over. It's a way of seeing things that will take time to show up in the outside world, and that you are more than enough. And it only takes one small willingness to move this process forward, but it is a willingness to forgive. And we're not talking the forgiveness to destroy that we were raised with. That's Newtonian physics. Well, you did it. I forgive you, but I don't, right? Or, oh, it was okay, I forgive you. No, it's none of that. It's the quantum model of you only did it because you were in pain, and I've been in pain, and I've done shit I regret too, right? So seeing it from different levels of consciousness. I have to say, it's a really, really alchemical, powerful, miraculous, and Course in Miracles sense kind of read. So may the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need this full moon to new moon next in October 2020, that they may shapeshift into higher levels of consciousness, deconstructing doubt, getting that they are more than enough, that they have everything they need within them, though the external practice will take time and patience to transform and heal, that the only thing that is real is love here, and to shift our focus from the problem back to love as we are willing to forgive step by step, breath by breath, the best that we can for our well-being, for the well-being of everyone in our lives, and for the well-being of all in unity consciousness. So mote it be. And so it is. That's a blessing. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. My Leos, help me get to where I want to go, and I will keep giving you the very best and the very blessed that I got every single time for our well-being and for the well-being of all. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of it all, my darlings. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.